Sa nama je sada selektor muške reprezentacije Srbije Toni Gerona koji će održati predavanje na temu španskog rukometnog modela. Mr. Gerona, thank you for your time. Daćemo gospodinu reč, pa uživajte. Welcome.
That's it. Okay. Thank you so much for everything. The first thing, thank you, Jika, for this kind invitation. The first thing. Second one, congratulations for these 15 years with Balkan Handball. And third one, thank you again for everything that you are doing for handball in general, not just in Serbia, for in all the Balkans. And I think that this kind of activities is something that always is giving richness to all the people. It's always to share and to exchange about experiences, so it's amazing. This possibility is so great. And then the second thing that I have to say is I'm so sorry to not be able to make this conference in Serbian, but your language is so difficult. It's really difficult. It's for the reason that I decided to do it in English, and I guess that mostly of you will understand without any problem. And if there is something, in any moment, I will be glad if something is not clear or if you want to ask something else. It will be my pleasure to try to explain you. And to try to speak a little bit about this, I will say, fashion moment for Spanish coaches. Now Czech Republic, they changed the coach and they take another one, a Spanish one. I was waiting for Bosnia to see what happened, but finally no, there is no chance for that. And why I choose to speak about that is when Jika called me and he told me about the topics, and he told me, it will be great to not speak about 5-1, 6-0, or how to play 7 against 6, or something like this, to speak about something more general, a topic more general that can be more interesting for all the people. Or if you want, you can speak about the Spanish handball like this, or if you want, you can speak from, I spent 16 years in Barcelona, working with, I had the pleasure to work with Dragan as assistant coach of the first team when he was player, or Perunisic, or Peric, or Bori Dominikovic, to speak about Balkan players. And also after I spent a lot of time also with the youth categories, as a technical director of all these players, And I said, why not to try to take everything, to shake a little bit and to give something a little bit different. And this is the purpose of today, Then the purpose will be to speak about this Spanish handball model, to speak about some examples. Some examples, it means on the way that we have been working, and finally to make like a summary, some sentences that I think that is so important that, you have a coach, the coach is important, but as I will say, there is nothing more important than the team, and without good players, it's impossible. Even the best coach in the world can achieve anything, Then the players are really the important part. Then, to speak about Spanish handball model, the first thing that I have to say that in my opinion, but this is my opinion, I cannot say this is the opinion for all. In my opinion, there is a Spanish handball model. Then I start just to cut what I said about the Spanish handball model. For me, there is not. And I will explain you why. Because you have great coaches like Valero Rivera. I think that you know him. In his times in Barcelona, he was world championship with Spain also in 2013. And after that, he became a coach of Qatar national team already from 2014. He's already there. He took the second place in 2015. But, I will say that for all the Spanish coaches, he's a reference of someone who you need to, or I had the pleasure to be, from the 16 years that he was in Barcelona, he was still 10, 11 years as a head coach, and I had the pleasure to work with him. Manolo Cadenas, that you know him, coach from Ademar de Leon, for Wisla Plock, Meshkov Brest, Argentina national team, Spanish national team, Pastor, coach from Szeged, Spanish national team. He won the World Championship in 2005 in Egypt. Or Jordi Rivera, the nowadays the Spanish national coach. If you take a look, their teams, they are not playing on the same way. It's for this that I'm saying that there is not a model. You take a look one match of Szeged, and they are not playing on the same way like Lisbon is playing. I don't know, in Lisbon you know that there is Lazar, Kukic, there is also Petar, Georgic, And you saw, I don't know if you saw the last match that they played last day, okay? And it's, I think, one of the only team in the world that they are playing this 7 against 6 with 3 pivots and just 2 backs. But this is not the way how Pastor is playing with Zeged, or like Manolo is playing with Ademar, or like Valero is playing with Qatar. It's for this that I'm saying that, in my opinion, there is not just one model, okay? But it's clear that there are some data, we have some data to support that these coaches, or these Spanish school coaches, we have some success in the last years. I will say some results. Okay, in the Continental Championships in 2018, okay, sorry, I thought the match would be a little bit bigger. This is a picture of Jordi Rivera. They won with Spain in 2018, okay, the European Championship. Manolo Cadena with Argentina, they won the American Championship. Valero Rivera won with Qatar the Asian Championship. And I was lucky this time that I was coaching in Tunisia, and we won the African Championship. Okay, but in 2020, 3 years ago, Jordi repeats with Spain, Manolo repeats with Argentina, Valero repeats, and another Spanish coach beat us in the final in Tunisia. Was the coach of Egypt, okay, Roberto García Parrondo, and they beat us. That means against 4 Spanish coaches. And this year, okay, Spain took the 2nd place in the last European Championship. Valero won against with Qatar. This time was Mateo Garralda, if you remember him, right back from Portland, Spanish national team. With Chile, they took the 3rd place. And for the African, we don't know, because they will play, due to the COVID situation, they will play the African Championship next summer. But if we take a look about the Champions League, the most important competition for the clubs, in the last 6 editions, we have 4 Spanish coaches that they won the title. We have Talan Dushebaev, even that he's not born in Spain, but as a coach he started in Spain, okay? Raúl, now coaching in Paris Saint-Germain, but he was the winner with Vardar, like Roberto, who was with Vardar, and also Pasky, who won now in Dinamo Bucharest, that he was the winner with Barça. But these numbers are that 17 from, we are speaking from the last 6 editions, it means 24 teams, sorry. From these 24 teams, 17 were coaches for Spanish coaches, and we are not a lot. It's not because we are a lot of coaches, but it's clear that good results from some coaches provide good publicity for all of us. And this is something that was a few years ago, I would say, for the Balkan coaches was exactly the same. You found Balkan coaches all around the world. And now this changed, and now it's like mostly of the teams who are winning something, they have some Spanish coach. Now it's like a lot of Spanish coaches have the opportunity, okay, to coach in and to go to work outside of Spain. Even those who have not a good results, okay, there is always a common opinion about the job. And the common opinion is always this: he's a hard worker. This is something that even someone who is fired from his place, the comment, he's 100% engaged, it means that, I think that is for this reason that I'm saying that even that there is no model, for me, the thing is that there is a method. On the way that we are working with the teams, with some good results and sometimes not so good results, okay? This is important, okay? Not always will be some good results, but there is just one method beside us, okay? We have a thing, and I can say we, because this is something I think really good between us, that we are always in contact. There is no any week that we don't speak each other with, I don't know, this week I spoke with Pasky, with Manolo Cadena, with Xavi Sabater, and we are exchanging every single time. But exchanging, it means that to discuss about this situation or these players, or what do you think about how to play like this or how to play like that, okay? Every time that someone is trying to get one player, if it's someone who was playing in Tunisia or now Serbian, for sure they will call me and they will ask me. And I doing exactly the same with the players that I know that they play with other coaches, okay? Then for us, something that is really important is to say that no one is more important than the team. But no one, it means no one. Any player, any coach, anyone. We have to do everything that we can do to give the best results and the best possibilities for our team. And also, something that I can promise you that we are thinking every day is, what can I do today to help my team? In which way can today I can help my team? In which way? I can do it today. Perhaps I need to give them some rest. I need to prepare some individual videos for these players. I have to take a coffee with these two players because they have some problems now. I will put you one example. Today is a hard day. Yesterday we lost at home one match against Chambéry, 26-29. Okay. Jekic was not so good, Vanya neither. Okay. But we have in our team, we have one Russian guy, Sergei Kudinov. Perhaps you remember his father. He was super player, Kudinov, with Russia. And we have one Ukrainian guy, Sergei Onifuyenko. And they are the best friends, really the best friends from a long time. And you can imagine how they are suffering now, both of them, for their families and for everything. Then all of us, or from my side as a coach, I was all the week and from the last 2 weeks when this problem start, trying to think, what can we do today to help them? Hey, do you need to today to not come to the training? Do you need today just to make some parts? Do you prefer to take some rest? Do you need just to not come even to the training, to not come to the match? And this is so important, to try to have this holistic vision, that means the global vision about our team, and to try to do every single day what we think that this can be the best one. I can give you one example. Discipline is important. Discipline is important. Tomorrow we have the activity with the national team. We start in the afternoon and we go to Kragujevac to make some trainings before to go to Czech Republic. And this week one player, I don't want to say his name because perhaps he called me and he told me, Toni, I will be in Belgrade on Saturday, but can I arrive on Monday at morning just before breakfast and not in the Sunday in the afternoon? And I asked him, why? And he told me, because I have an engagement party with my girlfriend. That means that it will be the moment that he will ask to his girlfriend if she wants to marry him next summer. As a coach, you can say, no, all the players in the afternoon. What I think, in which way I can force this player to say, don't make this now, you can do it, but at 7 o'clock you need to leave the team. You have to leave, the party, and you need to come with us. Okay, if for the team, I think that he will come on Monday with a better attitude, with a better predisposition to help the team, that if I'm forcing him. Why? Because this is an exception, of course, but we need to be able to know when we can make this kind of exception. Then, in which way can I today help my team is something that we need to think about a lot. Then, as I told you, and as you know, all of you, when we speak about sportive performance of our players, okay, there are about internal conditions, about if they are big, okay, even that I want to be the best pivot in the world, like it's difficult with my size, with my weight, everything, of course. There is external conditions about how we provide to the people the environment that they need to make the trainings. There is about techniques, about tactics, okay, about physical conditions also, and of course about psychological condition. And just as I told you, how Zika told me just to try to mix something and to make like a different speech for this activity, okay, I want to focus a little bit in these psychological conditions, because I think that is in this part that I will say we are like a good cook. Someone with the different players that we have, we can make something. Finally, we can win or we can lose. Of course, we are losing. No, we are not always winning. That's clear. Okay, but we are able to cook something, because I think that psychological conditions, that this part is on the way that we have some, I will say, something good to transmit to the players. Then it's for this that I want to speak about this method. First thing, so important, to consider the composition of the team, players and staff. Sometimes you need to be able to choose the best. Some people who perhaps won't be the best player, but will be the best player for the team. Okay? Just good players, you need good players. Without good players, it's impossible to win, guys. Impossible. I think, it's impossible. But the composition of the team is so important. Also the same for the staff. How important is to choose the right staff to be with you. Because it's also, for me, was so, I have to say like this, was so important when I became the coach of Serbia, to know that Ratko, someone that I know him when he was in Spain, was like the manager. Gile, that I know him when he was playing in Valladolid also, was also like assistant coach. Pejanovic as a goalkeeper coach, some people who speak Spanish, who speak English, that they have some vision similar. And the first thing, I have to say like this, when they told me the names of the people who will be, the first thing that I did is to call the coaches, Spanish coaches that have been coaching with Zile, with Misha, to know about how their personalities. Because this is so important. Sometimes it looks like it's not important, but the composition of your staff should be someone really with you have a lot of confidence, okay? After, should be to go a little bit beyond about the techniques, tactics, etc. This relationship that you need to build with your staff and with your players, okay? It's not to be the best friends of your players. I don't need to be the best friend of my players. I just need to transmit them that I'm there if they need me. That my phone is 24 hours, 7 days per week, always open. If they have a problem, they can call me. And this is so important also, this communication, okay? And as a humans, in some moments I got some bad experience that I'm giving a lot of confidence in one sense, but it's not coming back on the same way, on the same one. Okay, but it's really important, this interpersonal, and I think that all the Spanish coaches, they have really present these two items. The same like to work before, after trainings. To be a handball coach is not just to prepare the training or to make the trainings there. Is what are we doing before and after the trainings also? How we prepare. We are really, I think, hard workers on that. Okay, to take care about the details, collective and individual. And to share, discuss, to speak like you are doing now between us. This is so important to have the possibilities like we have like you here, we have the master coach in summer, we have the Spanish Federation, they're making the courses for the license, the 3rd level, 4th level, and like this in Spain. And we used to be always this week together there, and we exchange a lot, we discuss a lot between us, and it's always the thing that is always our richness for all of us, okay? When I am speaking about, as I told you, I want to focus a little bit more about this psychological intervention, how we are working with the players, okay, and with our staff, okay? There is 3 previous aspects that I want to consider, I want to speak about. The first one is something, I don't want to speak about religion, okay, but this is something that I think all the cultures of the religion, they say like this: try to treat the others, okay, as you want to be treated. You agree with us? You hear that many times, I think, okay? But that's true, and that's really true. But I think that there is something, there's a diamond law that is much better, still one, is this one. Treat the others as they want to be treated. Because on the way that he wants to be treated is not the same that I want to be treated. You know that you have some players that you need to push him every single day. But there are some other players that if you push them a lot, they will go down. They need someone who needs nice words, and then it's someone who needs really to be rough and tough with him. Okay? And to arrive at the moment that you know which player needs everything is really so important. It's for that this psychological intervention, or I said, like, to be able to know the players and to know them, or the players and the staff the same, the players and the staff exactly the same, to know really good the people who is working with you and the people who will have really a huge impact on the results that you will have is so important, okay? Then that means that I need to know them. Second, so important, I have to explain them their role. Why you are in the team, which is your role. They need to know the players. It's not the same one player and the other one. I cannot expect that, I will say some names, that Uroš Borzas take the role like Petar Djordjic. He's not the same player. He's not the same like some others, okay? Then it's so important that we give them clear roles and clear goals to each one of them, okay? But for this, I need to know their motivations. Did you ask any single time to your players why you are playing here? Because if you know which is the big motivation for them, you have a lot of power. With my team, that as I told you yesterday, we lost a match. Okay, when one player told you why you are playing handball here in Chartres in France, and said, you know, I'm playing here because I want to give a better future for my child. Okay, I need money, and you know here I can take this money for them. Okay, then you know that his biggest motivation to play is the family. Then you know what can you use in some moments, which information you can use in some moments if you need it, just to push them to try to get the best results. For some others will be just to be in the newspapers, or to be in Instagram with a lot of followers, or in Twitter, I don't know. But it's important to know which is the big motivation that our players have. And the same for the staff. And the same for the staff. I think that we need to be surrounded by people who want to improve as a coaches. I don't want assistant coach, sorry, but I never want assistant coach that they want to become assistant coach all their lives. I need respect, I need loyalty, but I want assistant coach that they want to become head coach. And they want to take my place, because this is the only way that you have people motivated to do his job at 100%. I think that you will know also some coaches that they prefer to be surrounded by people that always take like a second role. Okay, like this, I don't make pressure, or like this. I think this is not the goal. I need always to be sure that if, like in last Euro, hey, I got COVID, I have to be 1 week or 5 days in my room. Okay, the team needs to work, and someone has to lead the team. What is at this moment you are not there? You cannot have people who is not able to work with the team. Okay? Then, to be really surrounded by the right people, as I told you, is really so important. And again, to give them clear goals. And sometimes these clear goals can be some statistics. Okay, you need to improve, I don't know which percentage of your bench press, I don't know, or about the shoots, or about the time that you are playing. But they need to know what we expect from them. It's not just to come to the training, no, we need to win as a team, okay, yeah. But you, as a left wing, which is your job? And your role should be this, exactly, okay? Then to give them clear roles is really important. To manage or to lead the team? Okay, to manage, you can see it, planning and prioritizing as matches, creating a structure adequately, blah, 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 okay, this is a lot of words. Sorry, but the most important is the big difference between to be a manager or to be a leader of the group. A manager, all the coaches, you are managers. You prepare the trainings, you prepare the schedule, you create a structure, you manage the level and in the order that you show the subjects and the contents to your players. But when you want to be a leader, you need to try to push this player to change a little bit his behavior, to transform this player, okay? To convey through words and acts, and this is so important. And one lesson that I get from Valero Rivera, I remember when I started in Barcelona in 1999, and at this time I asked to Valero in one meeting, and he told me, Toni, one player never can say, and you it means, if we put some discipline, some rules for the team, never one player can say, hey, you are not following these rules. If we say, you need to be on time for the training, I have to be on training. If I tell you, you need to be prepared for the training, I have to be prepared for the training. If I tell you that you need to be in your room at 11, I must be in the room at 11, okay? Then, really, to be like a reference for those players is so important. And this is something that with your daily behavior, on the way that you are working every single day, finally you became something like this, okay? And finally, to motivate and transmit to the rest of the team and the staff. As I told you, I hope that in, I don't know in how many time, but that some of the people who is now surrounding the national team will be the head coach in the future. Should be like this and must be like this. When I'm speaking about the staff, as I told you, the main importance you have really to speak about the staff is to give also a clear roles to each one who is with you at the staff. And I will give you an example so easy, so easy. I don't know how many people you have in your staff, but something just in one paper to say on the trainings, on the trips, on the matches, what I have to do everyone, and to give this responsibility to someone. And this that can you think perhaps this is an stupidity is so important, because if I feel that I have a responsibility as assistant coach, as a goalkeeper coach, as a physical coach, I don't know, as a goalkeeper coach, doesn't matter. If I have the responsibility, I think, hey, this is my part of the success of the team. Then I need to be involved with that. Okay? And I have to tell you also that there are some coaches that they want to be the first coach, the second coach, the goalkeeper coach, the delegate, the physio, the psychologist, the everything. And this is not good. We need to be able to create and to give responsibility to all the people who is surrounding us. We need to give them the possibility. Opa, sorry. I think it works already. Yes. Then the interdependence of the task. Now, okay, we are playing against Czech Republic. Since 10 days ago, we prepared everything to play against Russia. That means in the last 10 days, there is one guy, Darko Tavric, who is in charge about videos and everything, that when we know that we want to play with Czech Republic, say, hey, Darko, you need to cut this as fast as possible. And he need to cut the videos. Then Zile was charging to prepare some videos for the attack. I was in charge to play the videos for the defense. Boris Rojevic about the individual aspects of the players who are playing there. Misha about the goalkeepers, about the shooters. And each one we have our own responsibility. And tomorrow when we will be all together, we will share everything that we prepare, and then next week we will give it to the players. But this is also, for me as a head coach, is something that you need some time to teach them. You need some time, okay, to put everything on place, but when you are giving one paper with the task, who is responsible of what? And in some parts, I know that it's not easy here. Okay, who has the responsibility for this and for that and for that? Because when you know who has the responsibility, everything is easier. Okay, and finally, someone takes the decision. Power distribution, this is also important. I like to say that in my teams, it's like authoritarian democracy. All the people can speak, but finally I have to take the decision, and it should be like this. And I said to my assistants the same, please don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what are you thinking. Because if you don't tell me what are you thinking, I don't need you. It's not just to, I know you are good, that is good, this decision is good. There is nothing worse than one assistant coach that you say, what do you think about this? Yes. Okay. And if we do this, yes. And perhaps you can do this. Yes, this is good. It's not possible. Then, for this, it's really important to be surrounded by people with really the character, the confidence, and people that you trust them. And of course, sometimes you don't know them a lot, and you need some time to know them, but this experience is so important, because when you are at the high level, at this moment, just one decision or 1 second decision later can become really a problem. Okay? Union. You know, we have a lot of friends when we are winning, we are completely lost when we are losing. It's like this, but this is the price that we have to pay. Okay? Then when there is tough moments arrive, it's important to be surrounded also with the staff people who give you confidence. Okay? And also this flexibility, as I told you, but this flexibility should be just thinking which is the best, what is the best now for my team. And in some moments, you need to be able to change something that you decide to do in one way because you think that this will be the best for your team. Then, I think that all the Spanish coaches, not all, but mostly of us, we agreed on almost this aspect that I told you, and how important is this psychological part, how important is to know your staff, how important is to give a clear goals to the players, and this diamond law that I told you. Don't treat the others as you want to be treated. Be with the others as they want to be treated. This is so important, but for that we need to know them, okay? Then, to continue, I will put you one example, okay, as I told you, just to continue with what I spoke with Jika. One example from those years that here I was still 2 years assistant coach with the first team, and after I became the manager of the youth teams. Okay, and in these 7 years we create one group of training, what we call the group Blume group, because they were in one residence, in one place studying, okay? And why we did that? Because we saw that after many years in the first team of Barça, we didn't find local players from our young teams. Just people to supply Dragan or like this. We had no people, okay? And it was a huge difference. The last player who arrived was perhaps Victor Tomás, that you know him, and he retired already last year. But after him was like the desert, nothing. No one stayed. Cristian Ugalde was few years, but after he left, but that's it. Okay. We saw also that it was a huge difference between our young players and the professional players. We bring some young players to work with them, and it was impossible. They smashed them completely. Just for the physical part, there is a really huge difference, okay? And then even they were not able to help them on the trainings. And after some years, results arrived in many ways, okay? Then, I don't know if you know them, okay, this on this age, but they became now, I think, one of the best couple, okay, goalkeepers in the world, like Rodrigo and Gonzalo. But not only them, there is David Balaguer, there is Carlos Molina, who was playing in Zaporozhye, Álvaro Ruiz, who was in Toulouse, in Ploc, now he's in Benidorm again in Spain, Aitor Ariño, still in Barça, Dani Dushebaev, Aleix Gomez, all those players, okay, all those players, we have been working with them. As I told you, this was a normal week. This was a normal week. And on Monday and Wednesday and Friday was a gym session, that means 3 sessions per week. On Tuesday and Thursday morning, make individual training, but take a look at 7:30 morning, every single day. And then in the afternoon, they went to the school. And then in the afternoon, just on Wednesday, they have some rest. That means 9 sessions per week, okay? 40 weeks per year for 4 or 5 years. You can imagine how big volume of work they achieve, okay? And as I told you, after that, the results arrived in so many ways. Okay, the programming was based in age. It was not the same for Rodrigo or for Aleix Gomez, because there are a few years of difference, okay? Of course, the specific gym was also just taking a look of the necessities of different positions of the players, not the same for one goalkeeper, for one back, that for 1 week, okay? Medical control, diet control, psychological support before and during the process, and also the main importance about school and residence. For us was like a law that the players must study, even that they are working a lot, they need to study. And I have to say that after that, many players were ready to be chosen for first team. After that was the first coach of the first team who decides who stays, who doesn't stay. From those players, you know that still Gonzalo is there, Aitor is there, Aleix is there, but some of them, they left, okay? 3 years in a row with this youth team, Okay, we won the second Spanish league. This is not important. Okay, but this is important. Many more players were playing in youth teams of Spanish national team. This provides them more experience. Okay, and this is also important. We became like a factory, like a lift for the high level. And that means that players who were young in Spain at this age, and they think, okay, I want to become a professional player, they try to come to Barcelona because they know that there is this condition, these possibilities to work. Okay? And something that I'm really proud about is about the 90% of those players have a university degree nowadays. That means that all of them at the same time that they were working like that, they were studying at the university. And this is also so important to prepare our players for the activities that they will need to do when they will finish. I think that you will speak about something like this later. Okay, how important is, okay, to give to the players the possibility, okay, to prepare their career for later. Then, just as a summary, okay, as I told you, for me it's not about the model. There is not a model, it's the method. Okay, how important is the staff, how important is how we create these groups, how important is that we know the goals, how important is that we give them a clear goals to each one of them, how important is, okay, that we treat them on the way that they want to be treated, each player. Okay, I think that the obsession for the details, the obsession for the details and the volume of work always paid off, always. And this is the example of the Blume. Players who have been working 9 sessions per week, 40 weeks per year, like 4 or 5 years. Just take a look and think about how many trainings are you doing with your clubs. Imagine the huge difference, okay? The capacity to involve all the people around the team also as a key for the success. It's impossible nowadays. No one alone can do anything. You need a huge staff, you need a motivated staff, you need a loyal staff, and you need people with the same ambition that you have, okay, to go for the future. If not, this is not possible. There is no one nowadays with it's impossible to have one people who is in charge of everything. You need people surrounding you and with the capacity to work with you. Okay, and finally, as I told you, I think that we can be good cooks, okay, but without good players is impossible. You can have the best method, you can have the best methodology, you have all the knowledge that you want, but if you don't have a good players, this is impossible. Then we need to provide them, we need to provide our players the best atmosphere possible, the best resources possible to achieve the level that they can achieve, because like this will be the possibility, we will have the possibility to achieve or see our goals. Okay? And that's it. This is the only thing that I can say. Serbian. Okay. I wrote you my email. If someone wants to discuss about something, I'm always ready for that. It's a pleasure. Okay. And that's it. I just, if there is some questions or something that you want to ask me, it will be a pleasure to answer you. No questions? Then there's 2 options. Everything is clear or you don't understand anything. ¿Eh? Oh, estabais comiendo. No pasa nada. Yeah.
To say that we make some good, to see that you make some good things for our national team. And I want to ask you one question. What is your opinion about our players? Because we have goal to be in top 16 in the world.
Yeah.
And what do you think, what we need and where our players are limited? Is it physical condition? Is technical, tactical? or mentality? What is your opinion after 1 year? Where are our players?
Look, I have to tell you that for me, the mentality of the Balkan players is something that I love it, always, always. I was discussing this morning on the plane with Georgia Jekic, who was traveling with me, and I said always I prefer some player that you need to stop him a little bit than someone that you need to push every single day. Okay, and now I'm in France, and there I have to say like this, not all French players, because when you see Dikamem or Karabatic, but mostly of the French players, it's easy for them. They know that they have this security and that they are not hungry every single day, you know. For me, the biggest problem that now we have here in Serbia with the national team is that we have a limited roster of players with experience. That's it. But experience, it means to play international games. How many of our players are playing international games every single? I will put you one example. We arrived to the last Euro, playing 7 matches in 2021. 7. 2 against France, good matches. 2 against Greece. 2 against Macedonia B, and 1 against Slovakia. That's it. Imagine the French team who play against us and who lost with us in January. After that, they play World Championship, qualification for the Olympic Games, and then it means that we play 7 matches and they play already almost 28 matches. It's 4 times more than us. When you take a look of the roster of the French team, how many international games they have, and we are missing this possibility. Okay, then it's so important that the clubs in Serbia, they develop on the way that they have the possibility to play European competition. This will be the best. I know that for that you need financial, but you need also tons of work. You need to prepare the players. You need to be able to play at this level. But for me, the point is to give the possibility. For this was, for me, the problem of the last Euro, even that we didn't play good, even with all the problems that we had with COVID, is that we miss again one opportunity to play in the main round and to play matches to get more experience. And we are unlucky because now we have the draw against Slovenia. It will be Italia-Slovenia will be Slovenia. I think that all of us, we agree about that. And it will be a tough competition, but the problem is that if we don't win that, we will miss again the World Championship, and this will be catastrophic, because we need to provide. Now we know that we will play these Mediterranean games. Okay, that will be good. For some young players, we will need to give them. But for me, the key is to provide more possibilities. And when I heard that some senior clubs playing in senior league, in Arcus League, they are training 1 hour per day. 1 hour per day. Okay, this is not enough. This is not enough, because the other teams are working much more. You need to work much more. And the problem is that every year, the difference is if every year our national team is playing 7 matches and France are playing 25 or 28, that means 14 against 56. And every year the difference will be bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah.
I'm Valen Opratić, strength and conditioning coach. I want to ask you, are you satisfied with the technical and tactical skills of our players? Because they are limited, you can't improve your method with our national team.
For me, it's a little bit easier, we say, because a lot of the players are coached or have been coached by Spanish coaches, and they understand a little bit these details that we say, that like to go and to come back, or some small details, they understand a little bit easier than some others. But it's clear that when you get one player, I would say like Lazar Kukic, who's played here, but after he played a lot of years in La Rioja, now with a Spanish coach, now he's in Benfica with a Spanish coach again, and as I heard, he will move next year to another club also, where he will have a Spanish coach. And you have this player, and after you take another one who didn't work with on the same model, and you see that there is difference. But the potential, it's amazing. You see some young players and say, hey, this guy can be something really important. But it's the same. When you are in your 40s, 50s, how many hours are they working? how many times they have the possibility to go to the court, and which physical work are they doing every week to just really to have the possibility to work with players like them. How you can go to crush one player like this on the trainings if I'm doing 1 times gym per week when I'm 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This is not possible. Then the first thing that I think that we have to change is to provide to our players this experience for international matches and much more hours of trainings. And I know that here there is a problem also with the halls, that there is not a lot of halls, the halls are crowded, and this should be one step to go. And as I heard, this is not my opinion, like Misha Pejanovic, that he told me that when he was kid, he spent all day in the hall training like a crazy, and now no, because you need to split the time, and there is a lot of activities, and you cannot use the hall that it was used in the past. Okay, then the first thing for me is to work much more. And after that, as I told him also, we need to provide them the possibility to play a lot of matches. It's a problem that Vojvodina play only 2 matches in a European competition after he was out. It's the same for the national team, it's the same. For us, for me, it's not to lose against Croatia and against France, it's that we miss the opportunity to play 6 more matches in the second round. Or 4 more matches in the second round. That should be really the point, and something really good for the team. It's for the reason that when they canceled this activity now with Russia, I was crazy trying to find, you cannot imagine, I called all the people, even to go to Qatar, or I spoke with Egypt, but of course normally all the people has already some plans. And finally, we received an invitation to go to Tunisia, but to go to Tunisia I prefer to play strong match. If we want to improve as a team, and with all my respect, we cannot just play with Slovakia and with Greece. We need to play with Croatia, with Slovenia, with Russia, or with these kind of teams. And I think Czech Republic will be really a tough matches and a good experience for us next week.
Thank you.
Someone else? You are hungry or? That's it. Okay, then thank you so much.
Najbolji rukomet i dalje dolazi odavde. Balkan Handball, 15 godina.